Tonight on CTV News at 6, Alberta's license plate facelift.
I really like our current license plate, but I think we can all agree it needs a refresh.
Wild Rose Country no more, now strong and free.
Why? Why do you need to change this? Change something that matters.
A new union proposal to the province to end the teacher strike and the government response.
Alberta can't afford to be an outlier. I've been clear about that.
And Edmonton's new Velodrome has cyclists salivating.
It's going to close the difference between me and the other riders that I race. It's going to make a huge difference.
Temperatures were back in the teens today, and the mild weather looks like it's going to stick around right through the weekend.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. New Alberta license plates are on the way, and you can vote for your favorite. While the new design is up in the air, the province has decided on a slogan, swapping out Wild Rose Country for Strong and Free. Jeremy Thompson joins us now from near the legislature with more. And Jeremy, why is the government making this change now?
Well, yeah, Jeff, from the ongoing teachers' strike to struggles with emergency room and ambulance access to a new report coming out soon about allegations of corruption at AHS to do with contracts, there are certainly plenty of pressing issues in Alberta aside from new license plates. While the opposition NDP calls this announcement a distraction, the Premier says her government is capable of handling multiple files at once. Plus, Smith says this change is long overdue. Red digits on a white background. Alberta plates with the slogan Wild Rose Country have been around since the early 80s. The province says it's time for a rebrand.
I really like our current license plate, but I think we can all agree it needs a refresh.
The government has come up with 8 designs for Albertans to choose from. Voting is already active on alberta.ca, and a winner will be crowned in mid-November. Albertans can choose the style, but the slogan is solidified. The new slogan is going to say strong and free.
No, we're not American. That's more American. There's nothing wrong with our plates now.
I think it maybe leans into a little of the separation thing with the strong and free, which I don't love. I also think, why do you need to change this? Change something that matters.
While the phrase strong and free is Alberta's motto, even written in Latin on the coat of arms, political scientist Laurie Williams says it has political connotations.
This is a phrase, at least in Alberta, that is associated with conservatism, with certain kinds of conservatives, and particularly with the United Conservative Party.
The UCP uses the slogan on its website and even has a strong and free club for major donors.
This is neutral language. This is in the national anthem. This is mentioned in speeches from every person from every political stripe.
The license plate announcement comes amid a teachers' strike, ongoing struggles in the healthcare system, and a looming report on the AHS contract controversy the NDP has labeled the corrupt care scandal.
The Premier talked to us about license plates, a burning issue, an issue that every Albertan has been craving for change. Come on. Not a single Albertan asked for this.
I don't expect each minister to stop what they're doing in their portfolio when there's important things going on. I can do more than one thing, and the minister can do as well.
And when it comes to the license plate designs, a winner will be chosen in mid-November after a few rounds of voting. And Minister Dale Nally says the cost of this redesign process is somewhere between $25,000 and $50,000, which is being absorbed in his ministry's budget. This change does not have to happen if you don't want it to. You are allowed to keep using your Wild Rose Country plates, provided they're in good condition. And Jeff, these new plates will become available in the new year.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. That's Jeremy Thompson live tonight. The Alberta Teachers Association has put forward a new contract proposal that would require an additional $2 billion. The
$2.6 billion deal that we'd agreed to before the strike, by the end of the deal, that would have Alberta teachers as the highest in Western Canada after taxes. So we know it's competitive, especially looking at Ontario West, where we have a lot of labor mobility. But Alberta can't afford to be an outlier. I've been clear about that.
The province and the ATA met with a mediator yesterday. The province says the ATA and its members need to come to a clear, concrete solution that is, quote, rooted in reality.
You want reality? Go look at our classrooms across this province. You want reality? Look at the overcrowded classrooms we have. Look at the students who don't have their needs met. Look at teachers who are teaching classrooms in boot rooms, in hallways, on stages of gyms.
Both sides expect to resume talks later this week. Teachers across the province have been on strike since last Monday. The Health Sciences Association of Alberta says it's ready to negotiate a new deal with AHS, but meetings have been pushed back. HSAA represents nearly 30,000 healthcare workers across more than 200 disciplines, including paramedics, pharmacists, and mental health counselors. Last month, members rejected a proposal from AHS and are waiting to get back to bargaining. The union's vice president says strike action is still on the table.
We are prepared. But honestly, I think we have to look at, we're healthcare professionals. We don't want to have to go on strike. We care about caring for our patients. That's why we go into these professions.
HSAA says the next meeting has been moved to November because someone from AHS is on vacation. We've asked the province about the reason for the delay and are waiting to hear back. An American man has been sentenced for the Power School data breach earlier this year that affected 2 local school boards. Power School is an online tool used by some boards to communicate with parents and collect school fees. St. Albert Public Schools and Edmonton Catholic Schools said they were part of the data breach. Student information affected included personal details, addresses, and phone numbers. Power School paid a ransom to ensure the impacted data was deleted, but the extortion continued. A man from Massachusetts has now admitted to the hack. He's been sentenced to 4 years in prison. Alberta's Information and Privacy Commissioner is also investigating the breach. Well-known Edmonton businessman and philanthropist Bruce Saville has died. The founder of Saville Systems was one of the major owners in the Edmonton Investors Group, credited with preventing the Oilers from leaving the city by buying the team in the late 1990s. Saville also served as a governor of the University of Alberta, chair of the Oilers Community Foundation, and was involved with Stollery Children's Hospital in Nate. Bruce Saville was 80 years old. A wrestling pioneer from Alberta is being honored with a bridge named after him. Today, the Elbow River Bridge on Highway 8 in Calgary was named after Stu Hart. The family patriarch put Stampede Wrestling on the map. Hart Mansion also became the training ground for the legendary family of wrestlers, including WWF star Bret the Hitman Hart.
I think it's so fitting that it's a bridge that's named after him, because he was such a strong, solid tank of a man. You know, he was a boulder that just never budged, and was took a lot of pride in the fact that he was an immovable object most of the time.
Stu Hart died in 2003. One of Edmonton's most iconic buildings is about to undergo a multi-million-dollar renovation. The Butterdome was built in 1983 for the World Universiade Games and coinciding with the school's 75th anniversary. The university's manager of campus architecture says the envelope of the building is failing. That includes the building's foundation, walls, roof, windows, and doors. The university says leaks may worsen unless the exterior is renovated, which could come with a new look.
We're going to look to maybe tie a little bit more into context, a little more into brand, and we are going to look to do things that will make it more transparent so you can see in, so that some daylight can get in, so it doesn't feel like a 1980s field house, but more like a recreation facility and a kind of a cultural gathering spot for the city.
The provincial government is footing the $27 million bill for the repairs. The U of A is hoping to start construction in the spring. Edmonton is now home to a world-class velodrome. The city's elite cycling community says the new track is a game-changer for the sport in North America. As CTV's Connor Hogg found out, local athletes are excited to test out the new digs.
Mere minutes after the ribbon is cut, Leduc athlete Adam Ritchie isn't waiting any longer to test drive Edmonton's new state-of-the-art velodrome.
This is amazing. It's like butter. It feels like you're on a motorbike, to be honest. You get nervous, you can't really feel your legs if you're pushing hard, and you just fly around.
The track's distinctive architecture offers a unique view while riding, no matter what kind of bike you're on.
Most of the velodromes that you go in, they're very closed off. You feel caged up. This is you're out in the open.
Other cyclists say the visibility of this velodrome to those visiting Coronation Park will be key to growing the sport.
Oh, my son is swimming, so I'm going to ride the bike while he's swimming. Or we have a family pass. We're going to come use the facility, and we're going to try cycling first.
Olympian Tara Whitten had to travel to the U.S. to train for winter qualifiers, while Edmonton's outdoor Argyle Velodrome was covered in snow.
It was a big expense, obviously, to live and train in a different country and be away from family. If I was training here, I could have easily stayed in courses at U of A and continued to train at a high level.
I'm so happy for them that they get this opportunity, and you just see their smiles, the ones that just came off it, they're ear to ear.
This is it's gonna close the difference between me and the other riders that I race. It's gonna make a huge difference.
The Coronation Park Sports and Recreation Center opens early next year, giving more people the chance to ride the curve like Richie year-round. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
With Thanksgiving in the rearview mirror, a local organization is asking people to think about helping families in need before Christmas. The Holiday Hamper campaign asks people to grocery shop for a family in need and deliver the hampers before Christmas. This is the 21st year of the campaign. In that time, it has grown from helping 35 families to more than 2,000. 250 families have already signed up to help. The organization is still looking for more Edmontonians to become Holiday Hamper elves. They hope to be able to beat last year's numbers.
It would be great if we, shot to maybe get 2,200 or 2,500. But the reality is there's actually more than that are in need. We estimated, depending on when we get the numbers, it could be anywhere from between 6,000 to 10,000 families that are in need in the city.
Kurtola adds that if you don't have time to fill a hamper, the organization accepts money, which will be used to buy turkeys or fish for families. The Edmonton Police Service will also be collecting food for people in need. This Friday, EPS members will be cramming their cruisers with non-perishable food items. The service is asking the public to donate food and toys at participating superstore locations. Police cars will be stationed outside the stores from 11 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. EPS says they're hoping to fill as many cars as possible with community donations. Ah, it's a nice day out there today, Josh.
Spectacular. A couple of degrees warmer than anticipated. 16 for a daytime high today. We had 13 in the forecast. So, yeah, we exceeded that by 2.5 degrees, 15.5. So 2.5 degrees warmer. 13 right now in downtown Edmonton. 12's off to the north of the city. Average daytime high is 11, so a handful of degrees above average and pretty close to average, just slightly below zero early this morning. We'll be in the same ballpark tomorrow morning. We don't often run a lot of photos, but I had two really good submissions. Look at that picture of the aurora as taken from the skies above Alaska. Chris Ratzlaff off to a conference in Alaska snapped that shot. That's pretty spectacular. And then Keith late this afternoon sent this in. Just a beautiful view of the river valley, the blue sky. This is from Sask Drive, looking off to the north. So speaking of nice shots, this is what it looks like right now from the CTV drone. That shot from Keith obviously came in before this little bit of thin cloud cover started to slide through this afternoon. There's a beautiful shot of the sunset. As those clouds are still kind of hanging over the Edmonton area, but starting to move off to the south and to the east now. We're on the back edge. We'll get some clearing here through the evening hours, down to about -1, -2 tomorrow morning, and then 16 or 17 for a high tomorrow afternoon with some increasing late day cloud and chance of a shower tomorrow night. More on all that in a couple minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Still ahead, the issue of city planning.
If I actually have to get the map and my pens out to figure out what the sequence is, I'll bloody well do it.
How Edmonton mayoral candidates plan to grow the city while avoiding disruptive road work.
Close it for 2 months. Let those crews work 20 to 24 hours a day, get in, get out, and then reopen.
James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Construction snarls have tied up much of Edmonton this fall, in particular the West End. It's disruptive road work the top mayoral candidates say could have been avoided through better planning and coordination. Each of them have a vision for how Edmonton should grow and what the city can do to spur that development. In part 4 of our series on the race to become Edmonton's next mayor, CTV's Jeremy Thompson dives into 5 candidates' plans for building Edmonton better.
The top candidates for mayor know construction is necessary and disruptions are inevitable, but they believe there's a better way to coordinate road work and keep those interruptions isolated. They also have varied visions for how Edmonton should grow into the future.
Barricades and lane reductions back up traffic on this West End street. Add in LRT construction stretching into downtown, torn up sections of Jasper Ave, plus a bridge replacement on 102 Ave, and the result is frustrated Edmontonians.
Whether it's infill or whether it's infrastructure, whether it's construction, there just seems to be a shotgun approach to how this business is done.
We've coordinated projects poorly. People are frustrated. We care more about the convenience of contractors than we care about the convenience of residents trying to get around the city.
It's not a flashy subject, but every top mayoral candidate says poorly managed city projects are causing too many headaches.
If I actually have to get the map and my pens out to figure out what the sequence is, I'll bloody well do it. This is not happening again.
I'm hearing from folks, particularly in the West End, all the time, and how their commutes have changed from 15 to 20 minutes to 40 to 60 minutes.
Finish one project before you start the other one. I mean, that's common sense, right?
Omar Mohammed is proposing a smart staging plan to better coordinate projects expected to cause travel delays. Cartmel, Jaffer, and Walters all have coordination planks in their platforms too. Andrew Mack supports a specific tactic to ease congestion. Call it the rip the Band-Aid approach.
Instead of leaving them partially open for 2 years in this state of disrepair where you rarely see somebody working, close it for 2 months. Let those crews work 20 to 24 hours a day, get in, get out, and then reopen.
Most candidates say they'd spend money fixing existing infrastructure before building anything new. Knack and Walters both want to speed up private development by automating routine permit processing. Raheem Jaffer promises to go even further as mayor with a 30-day permit guarantee, automatically approving applications if city bureaucrats miss the deadline.
This lights a fire under our permitting department's process, because what it says is that if you can't get it done in 30 days, we're not going to let businesses incur costs. We're not going to get projects delayed.
Jaffer says a campaign to attract business is needed to entice more commercial and industrial growth. Knack, Cartmel, and Walters each have their own plans to entice those sectors to Edmonton.
My plan is to make sure that we're the most competitive place to do business from an industrial and commercial perspective in the region within 6 months, because we don't have time to waste, because we're already losing that investment.
Meanwhile, Mohammed's focus is helping small businesses hurt by construction.
Well, you have to have also an economic impact plan for small businesses. Right now we have a little sign, no access points. The city can mitigate this a little bit through advertising, through maybe a bigger sign, a little bit better access points.
Tim Cartmel says there's more to project management than sequencing. He believes there's money to be saved by thinking ahead, like with this new footbridge over the Whitemud.
This bridge connects 2 communities, right? And because we're doing it as part of the Twilliger Drive project, we got economy of scale. So this bridge is far less expensive to build as part of this project than it would be of its own.
Some candidates want to repair Edmonton's reputation for building things that cost too much and take too long. Jaffer, Mohammed, and Cartmel say a project progress dashboard would add transparency and incentivize efficiency.
The city does already have a capital project dashboard, and while there are prominent examples of projects running late, like the Valley Line LRT that opened nearly 3 years behind schedule, this dashboard shows of the hundreds of current projects, more than 90% are on budget and nearly 80% are on schedule. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up, keeping busy on the field.
We really just didn't want to see him sitting around for two weeks or so.
Edmonton Elks host a free camp for high school students who don't want to take a timeout during the teacher's strike.
Yeah, spectacular day today with temperatures in the mid-teens this afternoon. We'll be in the mid-teens again tomorrow, and then a slight cool down for Friday of the weekend. Those details after the break.
programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The Edmonton Elks are hosting a free football camp for high school players sidelined by the teacher strike. As Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, it's a chance for the students to keep up their momentum and learn from the best.
And go, 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 go. That's it.
The Edmonton Elks are keeping these high school football players busy during the provincial teachers strike.
We really just didn't want to see them sitting around for two weeks or so and then having to go back and jump back into games immediately.
Enrollment for the free camp filled up within hours. 140 students made it onto the field, with 43 others on the wait list.
It just goes to show the passion this community has for the sport. We're really here just to get the work in. I wouldn't care if we were doing it in the parking lot. We just want to get these kids better at the game.
Great job.
Getting to learn from the pros at Commonwealth will help these promising players take a step forward.
It's been my dream ever since I was little. Ever since I was 5 years old, I've been training to be a pro football player. I love being coached by the professionals. They're amazing people.
It's a great opportunity, and I love that, and I'm really appreciative of what they're doing for us.
Edmonton Elks wide receiver Stephen Dunbar says he sympathizes with the players being away from their home fields.
I ain't gonna lie, as a kid, especially these guys' age, football was my entire life, so I would be pretty upset.
Dunbar says the strike is a life lesson that can help the students through their future careers on the field.
It's not gonna be the last time things happen, especially around football. It's, unexpected circumstances happen, so you just gotta kind of make the most of it.
They gotta compete in every aspect of life, and football's just one avenue they get to do it.
The Elks are hosting this training camp until the end of the month. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Okay, so off camera, we've been watching a Skycam shot, the sun glinting off the buildings downtown. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's still there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, kudos to you for not calling it tower cam as well, because
it only took 5.5 years.
I mean, it is at the top of a tower, I guess, but it's looking at the sky. It's the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed right free. That little glint of sunlight there off the building. Last week, it was up at the top. Now it's here. I mean, by next week, you will not see that glint off of the building there. 13 degrees right now after hitting 16 for a daytime high today. 12 in Fort McMurray and Cold Lake. 18 in Grand Prairie this afternoon. That's 10 degrees warmer than average. 8 degrees, your average daytime high for this time of year. Not a record, though. Looks like 23, the record high for the state in Grand Prairie. There's your little bit of cloud cover sliding through. Got a low pressure system off to the north. Typically, that would that northwesterly flow draw in some cooler air, but it was actually, as you saw, warm across the northwest. So that's a warm front as opposed to a cold front coming from the northwest. We will see some mild air come at us from the south, though, out ahead of that low pressure system. Yet another one building in. That'll bring some cloud cover, chance of showers to northwestern Alberta through tomorrow afternoon. Western parts of the province is going to be pretty scattered. There's your warm southerly flow out ahead of the system, and then behind it, we'll get some cooler air drawn in for Friday. Here's your chance of showers. Best bet's going to be well to the north of the Edmonton area, but tomorrow night, 10, 11 p.m., you might see a few scattered showers move through. Mixed sun and cloud for Friday, and there is that northwesterly flow that'll draw in, and we won't have the heat across the north that we had today, so that will actually be a cooler northwesterly flow later in the week. Still no worse than about average, slightly above average, though, for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got 10s right now in Fort McMurray, Cold Lake. Lloydminster, Coronation, a little cooler, 7s. Still at 15 degrees in the Peace Country. It's 11 in Red Deer and 13 degrees here in Edmonton. Wind pretty light for most areas here in the city. It'll stay light for the next 24 hours. Skies clearing over the next hour or two. We'll stay clear overnight tonight, down to about -1 or -2 tomorrow morning, and then your daytime high tomorrow comes at about 4 or 5 p.m. Should be 16 or 17 for a daytime high. As we said, we got to 15.5 today. I think we should be a degree or two warmer than that tomorrow, so somewhere in that 16, 17 range. Don't forget, midnight Friday is the early bird prize deadline in the Mighty Millions Lottery. It's the Porsche Paris early bird prize. A new Porsche 911 and a trip to Paris. or $200,000. Go to mightymillionslottery.com. 16 or 17 tomorrow, into the 12, 13-degree range Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You get a mix of sun and cloud Friday. Saturday looks beautiful, and actually your morning lows should be above zero. No frost, at least in the city, for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Chance of some showers Sunday evening, though. Will briefly cool off to about 9 or 10 Monday, Tuesday of next week, but then temperatures jump right back into the mid-teens, it looks like, by Thursday, Friday. So no cool spell coming anytime soon.
Thank you, Josh. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, building anger in Israel.
We stand clear when we say this. Hamas, the terror organization, is required to uphold its commitments to the mediators and return all of our hostages.
The Gaza ceasefire holds for now, and
we will make sure that we push the company and we hold them to account.
A major automaker moves production from Canada to the U.S.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Calgary police and federal immigration officers paid a surprise visit this morning to a construction site at the city's new event center. CTV's Mark Villani has more from legal experts and reaction from those working on site.
Construction is in full swing at Calgary's new event center until it all came to a grinding halt Wednesday.
We had to grab our IDs and that we would be at the front gate and ID'd and questioned, and then some returned to work and some didn't.
Officers with the Canada Border Services Agency arrived on scene conducting what's called a regulatory compliance check for employees and contractors of Canada Construction. Calgary police say they were only there to ensure safety as federal officers carried out immigration status verifications. For workers at Scotia Place, this sudden inspection was unsettling.
There was a lot of concern, a lot of people who were mad. A lot of people here were in disbelief.
This is common in Canada, but it's uncommon in Calgary.
Immigration lawyers say these types of operations are part of a broader shift in CBSA enforcement, which includes the hiring of another 1,000 new officers across the country.
As a result of the Liberal government's sort of immigration policy, we've got hundreds of thousands of temporary residents in Canada that simply can't navigate their way to permanent residency, so a lot of them are choosing to work without authorization.
Other legal experts add that it's unlikely CBSA would show up without cause, especially for major operations involving levels of various employees.
In large-scale projects, you may have GCs, general contractors, who are abiding by the rules, but they are contracting out so much work. I don't know what checks and balances exist.
But for those still on site, some hope this disruption doesn't put a stop to one of Calgary's largest construction projects.
We need every man and every woman here.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Multinational automotive company Stellantis is planning to pack up production on the Jeep Compass in Brampton, Ontario, and move it to Illinois. The timing is not ideal for the already unstable Canadian auto sector. CTV's Michael Couture has more on how Ottawa is responding.
Industry Minister Melanie Joly wouldn't specify exactly how, but the federal government is considering legal action against Stellantis.
We will make sure that we push the company and we hold them to account.
A letter from Melanie Joly to the company's CEO identifies legally binding commitments the car company made in the past as part of a deal with Canada and Ontario.
We've invested millions of dollars in that facility based on the commitment that they would be investing in a new model. And so that's why, if they don't do so, we'll hold them to account.
Ontario's premier is also digging in.
I'm not going to give them a penny because it was tied in to making sure Windsor and keep Brampton going.
Doug Ford says the head of Stellantis told him yesterday they were going to find a new model for the Brampton plant and move 1,500 workers to the one in Windsor. In a statement, Stellantis said Canada is very important to us, adding, "We have plans for Brampton and we'll share them upon further discussions with the Canadian government." But Doug Ford believes the car company is shifting $13 billion in investment to the U.S. because of trade uncertainty triggered by President Donald Trump.
That guy, President Trump, he's a real piece of work. You know something? What my message to the Prime Minister when I meet him on Thursday is if you can't get a deal, let's start hitting him back.
Canadian vehicles to grow our auto industry.
Prime Minister Mark Carney campaigned on standing up to Trump. However, in recent months, Canada has removed most counter tariffs on U.S. products except steel, aluminum, and autos. In a post on social media, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre claimed the Prime Minister sold out workers and let their jobs move to the U.S. The minister responsible for trade with the U.S., Dominic LeBlanc, returned to Washington on Monday. He's working with Canadian negotiators to continue talks with their American counterparts on trade. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Anger is growing inside Israel over the failure of Hamas to return the remains of all 28 hostages. It's a key part of the ceasefire agreement, and today Israel appeared to be restricting the flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza because of the delay. CTV's Joy Melvin reports.
The living have been returned, and now the grim task of receiving the slain hostages. Gia Luz, a sound technician at the Nova Music Festival, is finally home.
I come here to express my so sad feelings with the family.
But the slow pace of their return has angered Israel, and one of the bodies, Israel says, wasn't even a hostage. And so Israel has slowed down desperately needed aid to Gaza in protest. The United Nations calling on Israel to let more trucks in as tens of thousands of Palestinians return home to utter devastation.
We stand clear when we say this. Hamas, the terror organization, is required to uphold its commitments to the mediators and return all of our hostages. We will not compromise on this.
Hamas says some of the bodies are still trapped under rubble from buildings destroyed after 2 years of war. But with reports of masked Hamas gunmen in Gaza seizing power and carrying out public executions, the U.S. president who helped broker the ceasefire had a blunt warning.
If they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently.
Donald Trump doesn't say how that would happen as this fragile ceasefire faces its first test.
I think all the hostages and all the bodies exchanged, if we can get enough aid into Gaza, then that will at least, I think, set the conditions for the two sides to sit down perhaps together. So far, of course, the two sides have not spoken face to face.
Canada's defence minister is at NATO headquarters today in Brussels, Belgium, speaking on Canada's defence spending as well as Canada's commitment to the NATO alliance and support for Ukraine.
To indicate Canada's commitment to the 2% target, a target we will meet 5 full years ahead of schedule as we rebuild, rearm and reinvest in Canada's Canadian Armed Forces. We're investing in our people, we're investing in our bases, we're investing in our equipment. But I want to also make it very clear, Canada is fully committed to the alliance. Canada is fully committed to Ukraine.
Straight in front of
NATO defense ministers will try to drum up more military support for Ukraine amid a sharp drop in deliveries of weapons and ammunition in recent months as Ukraine fights off the Russian invasion.
Many thanks.
The Toronto Blue Jays are trying to climb out of a deep hole in their American League Championship Series with the Mariners. The game is in Seattle, but as CTV's Andrew Johnson shows us, there are plenty of Toronto fans in town.
The Jays have a lot on the line. At risk of going down 3-0. They could use all of the crowd support they can get, and they'll find it here in Seattle, which over the years has become almost a home away from home. Thousands of Toronto Blue Jays fans have made the road trip over the border and down the I-5 from Metro Vancouver to cheer on Canada's team when they need it most.
Little nervous. Fingers crossed for today, though. I have faith in them.
But you still feel good?
I do. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, I feel happy. Yeah.
Are we calling a win tonight?
Hopefully, yeah.
Others are arriving on the water. A special ferry sailing added for fans to make the trip from BC's capital.
We're pretty excited. This is our first game that I'm taking her to.
The last 2 games, they just didn't have their bats quite on. They just need to score some more runs.
Over the years, Jays fans have sometimes even outnumbered Seattle Mariners fans in their own ballpark. So the locals here know what's coming.
It's not too far from the border, so we're probably expecting a lot of them from Vancouver out here.
There are also plenty of Mariners fans in BC. They're here too. After 2 home losses to start the series, the odds are not on Toronto's side, with Seattle fans salivating over being 2 wins away from the club's first ever World Series berth. Tonight's Game 3, Game 4, and Game 5, if necessary, will all be played here at T-Mobile Park. Toronto will need to take 2 out of 3 on enemy territory to bring this ALCS back to Rogers Centre. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Seattle.
Still ahead, taking a toll.
For some of our lower income neighbors and friends, they're really feeling these impacts significantly.
The impacts of financial stress being felt by more than 50% of Canadians. Also,
what areas of study are more or less likely to lead to positive career outcomes?
The federal Conservative pitch to address high youth unemployment. And one more look at the new Velodrome in Coronation Park. Tell us world of science behind it, and a beautiful sunset underway. Stay with us.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Looking at the markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 71 cents U.S. Oil lost 43 cents, closing the day at $57.84 U.S. a barrel. Gold gained more than $38 on the day. The TSX ended higher, up 283 points. The Dow Jones down by 17. Many Canadians across all income levels report feeling anxious about finances. A new study shows how that kind of stress can take a toll on your health. CTV's Scott Hurst reports.
Having concerns and worrying about money is something pretty much all of us can relate to, but financial stress is proving to have a real-life impact far beyond our wallet, a growing impact on our overall well-being, not just our mental health, but our physical health as well. And the United Way is seeing the affordability challenges for so many Canadians become much more severe. That's according to a new survey for United Way through Leger, and more than half of Canadian residents who took part in the survey, 55%, are at the very least anxious about their personal finances. It's all adding up to more stress and much more of a burden. About 4 in 10, 41%, report actual physical stress symptoms when talking about money, and that leads to the most severe question: what happens if you ultimately can't make ends meet all of a sudden? And 42% of respondents say they would only be able to cover their basic expenses for less than 1 month if they lost their job, meaning so many of us are so dependent on each and every paycheck. Financial stress does cut across all income levels, but as you might expect, the overall physical and mental impacts, the toll is much more acute and severe for people making less money. Here's more from United Way.
As you get lower down the income spectrum, for some of our lower income neighbors and friends, they're really feeling these impacts significantly.
Data from 211 United Way's national helpline shows that calls for financial assistance have increased more than 50% just from last year and more than 60% from 2 years ago. Ultimately, that emphasizes the significant financial strain Canadians are feeling right now. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
The federal Conservatives say they have a plan that will improve job prospects for young Canadians. While Canada's unemployment rate sits at 7.1%, Statistics Canada puts youth unemployment at 14.7%. New pieces of the Conservatives' youth jobs plan include a 1-year, 100% capital cost tax write-off for employers that build housing for employees. The party also wants a change to the federal grant and local financial assistance program to give more help for in-demand fields.
The government should establish a process for making objective determinations about what areas of study are more or less likely to lead to positive career outcomes.
The Liberal government says it has created more than 130,000 job opportunities for young people this year. It promises it will have more to say on youth unemployment soon. A company using artificial intelligence and robotics to build homes is now building on the success of its Edmonton facility. Promise Robotics is opening a 60,000 square foot warehouse in northeast Calgary. The company's proprietary platform allows prefabricated homes to be produced in a few weeks. It hopes this will help the city's housing crisis. The CEO estimates Calgary needs to build 9,000 homes each year beyond current output to restore affordability to pre-pandemic levels.
We actually work directly with the builders. We don't tell them what their design is. They just bring their design. That design is translated to our AI system, to robotic manufacturing system that is produced rapidly in a factory that is behind me, and then is shipped to the site for rapid assembly.
Homes built by Promise Robotics are already on the market. The company's first factory was built in Nisku earlier this year. Coming up, from heavy and furry to sleek and silky.
No fur. We use silk, pure silk.
The makers behind the redesign of the Supreme Court judges' robes. Stay with us.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Edmonton.
Programming brought to you by Southview Acura. For family-owned, award-winning excellence, Southview Acura, where luxury meets reality. We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV.
The Supreme Court of Canada is marking its 150th anniversary with a redesign. The court has ditched its iconic red and white robes for a simpler black design. A company in Quebec was charged with making the new look. CTV's Jean-Vive Beauchemin went to see the handiwork firsthand.
In the heart of the Saguenay, there's a made-to-measure shop called Rabat-Joie that got a tall order. It was entrusted with creating new robes for the 9 justices of Canada's Supreme Court. The mission was to thread the needle between tradition and renewal.
No fur. We use silk, pure silk.
The old robes, called Santa suits by some, had been the court's ceremonial vestments for a century and a half. This is how one justice described them.
They're awful. They're so hot. They're heavy. At some point, there's 2 or 3 layers of fur.
And so as the Supreme Court marked its 150th anniversary, it reached out to Romane Le Gallou, who started a career in creating jurist wear, outfitting her friends in law school.
Because the brand was bold, was original, and was different, so they wanted to speak about a secret project.
That launched Le Gallou and her team on a year-long project of designing and fabricating new robes. Miriam Herrera is the technical chief of the workshop, a seamstress originally from Nicaragua who had sewn wedding dresses and evening gowns for Miss World contestants before finding a new home here. It's quite complicated to work with the fine silk, she says, for the pattern to look flawless. Gone is the white fur and red suits. In are the black robes, elaborately embroidered with the court's crest, lined with red piping as a nod to the Canadian flag. At their debut earlier this month, Chief Justice Richard Wagner called the design modern, simple, distinctly Canadian.
And this is what was the core values for creating these masterpieces.
And now this yarn of the Supreme Court robes is part of the fabric of this region, a point of pride.
And now the shop here in the Saguenay is hoping to make a seamless transition to many more markets right across the country. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Saguenay, Quebec.
What do you think? CTV News at 6 robes?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. Who knew that was a career, though, that you could carve out a niche?
Jurist wear.
Jurist wear.
That's a new word, too.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Just wait till, in a couple of years, they'll do throwbacks like they do throwback jerseys. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They need a third uni, an alternate. 16 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow. Sunshine in the morning, some increasing cloud in the afternoon. Could see a shower tomorrow night. And then highs in the 12, 13 degree range Friday through the weekend. Little bit of a brief cool down there early next week. But temperatures for the next 4 days look great. couple of degrees above average.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Thanks, Josh, and thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, visit ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great evening.